Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of I Like It Raw. My name is Mikala Leinani. If this is your first time joining us, here at I Like It Raw, I talk about anything raw, real, taboo, and just get into stuff people do not typically want to get into. Now that my spiel is over, I just want to talk about watering thy spirit, y'all. Watering thy spirit. Look, I feel like this is a major season of change. And that's in all aspects. I've been dealing with that like in my friendships and stuff. And I'm not going to lie to you. It's been interesting. It's been kind of tough. It's been a little hurtful. But whatever you need to do to grow is what you need to do. And with change comes growth. And obviously, it's kind of just a requirement of life. But when I'm talking about like water thyself, it's like kind of accepting those points of where you are at this moment and sitting in that and allowing it to continue to elevate you. And leaving things behind that no longer serve you. A lot of times we will stick around dealing with things that don't serve us because, oh, you love them, or it's something hard that you don't want to give up. You don't want to be the lame in the group, or, things along those lines, especially when it comes to like weed and sex, drinking, going out and partying. A lot of times those are things that's really tough to let go because your friend group entirely is going to change. Unless you got a friend group that's kind of like on that same journey and path and want to do those same things too. If you got a friend group that drinks, smokes, and likes to go out, and you want to be the person to be like, I'm tired of doing this, I think I'm going to stay in, more than likely a few of those friends are going to drop off. You're not going to communicate with them as much. But it's all about watering thyself, watering thy spirit. And during this journey, I've been going through a lot, losing friends, or not losing, but gaining the experience of not having them people around. Why every time I'm in this car, somebody with a loud car, nigga, you don't even live in this neighborhood. Okay, but my bad. I've been going through the journey of relationships changing because I have changed. As y'all know, I'm a mom now. So I don't do the same things that I used to do when I was not pregnant, when I didn't have a kid. I don't go out like that. I don't partake in the activities of drinking and smoking. That's just not my vibe no more. And for some people that have kids, they do go back to that, and that is perfectly fine. If that's what calls to their spirit, then that's what calls to their spirit. But for me, before I even got pregnant, I was being told to stop that. My spirit guys was like, girl, you need to go ahead and get up on off that. Especially because I knew, like, I felt it in my spirit, like, this isn't serving me anymore. I never got that experience of partying, of drinking, of smoking, and having a good time when I was younger, like during people's typical college days, because I didn't go to college. I took a few classes at a community college, but straight out of school, I was working. I was getting to the bag, baby. So that's like my entire concern. And then when you get into the bag, you're like, okay, well, I can have my own stuff. I want my own place. I want my own car, blah, blah, blah. But you have to be able to uphold that and sustain that. So there's no like, I'm just not going to go to work because I got bills to pay. And so going out and stuff never happened, especially because I was in a situation with a person who, one, he didn't like going out and stuff like that. That's what he made it seem like to me. But he would never go out like when we were in a relationship. And when we would go out, he was more like the antisocial type of guy. So it would just never be like that. We never would go out. So I never truly got that experience of enjoying what that was like. And once I got older, had my time of living on my own, paying all my bills and blah, 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 I had to, remove myself from something that didn't serve me. I had to water my spirit and get up out of there. And I came back home and was able to have that experience. Now, my experience of like partying, drinking, and doing all that lasted maybe like a year and a half, 2 years. And while being in it, I could feel that I was shifting. I'm like, okay, people go to the club every weekend. People drink all the time. People do all these things, smoking every day. And don't you get tired of it? Don't you get sick and tired of doing the same thing, seeing the same people, going to the same places, and, feeling that same energy, especially when the energy doesn't align? And that was hitting me heavily, but I was still trying to be around it because I was like, okay, well, I don't want to not be around the person that I'm with at the time. Like, I wasn't in a relationship, but I was messing around with the dude, you know what I'm saying? And I was enjoying having sex with dude. So I'm like, okay, if I stop drinking and partying, then I'm really going to feel that I can't hang around with this dude. So I was keeping myself in that environment, doing those things and having those bad habits so I could be around the guy that I was having sex with at the time. And it's interesting because it's like, wow, the things that you'll do to stay around an energy that you're not meant to be around is crazy. And it almost feels like it's like a setback almost. But instead of looking at it as a setback, I'm looking at it as a lesson because boy, did I learn a lot. And this is going to be a continuous lesson because now I'll have a child out of it. But it's like, okay, if I would have listened to my intuition, listened to my spirit guides and my ancestors, watered thyself and thy spirit, I wouldn't have had to learn the lesson as long, and I wouldn't be in the situation that I am in now. Now, my son, biggest blessing, I don't regret it at all. But I'm just saying there's a difference between you having a kid and now that you have to always be concerned about somebody else versus you just worrying about yourself. So there's so many things that if you don't water your spirit and listen to yourself, you might end up in a situation that some people may not be as fond of. Like some people might be like upset that now they have a kid to look out for. I'm not upset. But it's a big responsibility. And that weight of feeling like I have to make it home is different. It hits different because somebody is actually relying on me to be home versus, oh, you go out, you not worried about nothing but yourself. But just being caught in the mindset of wanting to be around things that are out of alignment with you and they're out of alignment with you will teach you so much. And it's not even to make you feel bad about yourself or about things and how they're going, but it's to show you that if you would listen to your intuition, if you would listen to your spirit guides, your angels, ancestors, your loved ones that's here for your highest and greatest good, maybe the walk that you're thinking would be easier would have been easier had you listened the first time. And this is why I say watering thy spirit. Watering thy spirit. Watering thy spirit, it just means so much. It encompasses so much. Because it's not just about self-care, but it's about heeding to the messages that you are given. And a lot of times we do not take heed to these messages that we are given. And the lesson and the message is reoccurring and it takes longer. And then sometimes your self-esteem might dwindle down. Sometimes you might experience what we want to call depression or classify as depression But in all actuality, I be feeling like depression is not being able to sit with those emotions and really analyze those emotions and figure out why you're feeling these emotions. It's almost to me like I feel like the experience of depression can be the avoidance of wanting to feel what you're feeling, thinking that you shouldn't be feeling that feeling, but you're feeling it, but you're in denial of feeling it. I feel like that's the best way I can describe that. And it's almost like, well, if you would just sit there, allow yourself to feel those feelings, ask why, and feel that it is okay to feel those feelings, it would be almost easier to get through, to work through, instead of like being in denial of those feelings and the feelings continue reoccurring. But the thing is, you're not listening to them in the first place. So they have to keep reoccurring because you're not addressing them where they're at. You're not asking them what's going on. So when you talk about watering thy spirit, you got to sit with yourself in all aspects and all ways. And so, man, I mean, I feel like I could jump around so much with this because I am. But then it's like, man, dang, I'm losing my train of thought because what was I just talking about? But then here's this that can happen too. It's just, there's so much that goes into this, y'all. It's so much that goes into this. Like you have to let go of those things that aren't serving you. Like to complete this episode, you got to let go of those things that aren't serving you. And I feel like the hardest part about that is the relationships. And it's not just sexual relationships, intimate relationships that don't involve sex, but friendships, especially, and family members. But I feel like we all have those moments where we just be clipping. And if you don't, clip them toxic family members off because a sense of entitlement is insane. But the friendships especially, because I've been feeling those feelings of like sadness and envy and jealousy within a friendship that is no longer a true friendship because the dynamic changed. And I said this in a TikTok. If you guys don't follow me on TikTok, please do. I really get into like some short good messages there. But in my TikTok, I was saying like envy and jealousy, like in friendships, especially if you're close to that person and you truly love that person and care for that person, it's different than what we know jealousy and envy to be. It's more so being jealous and envious of the relationship that you all had before. But now that it is no longer, you're envious of what you used to have with that person. It's not about them and what they have and what they're doing and their lifestyle. It's about what you guys had as a friendship. And I've been experiencing that, and it's such an interesting feeling. And for a second, it was a battle because I'm like, well, why do I feel like I'm jealous? Like, what is that feeling? I don't want what they have. I'm not mad that they're successful and that they're doing this. So what is that? And when I really sat with myself, I was like, man, it's the jealousy and the envy of what we had, not what they have. And that spoke volumes to me. That was such a enlightening moment for me because I'm like, I feel like a lot of times those two words are misconstrued and made so hateful and so harmful feeling because of what we know them to be as like you want what that person has, but it's not about that. It's about wanting what you guys had together. But again, it's about watering thy spirit and learning that things aren't going to be around forever. Sometimes friendships are for seasons and they're not for lifetimes, and that's okay. But you have to grieve that. You have to grieve it. And it's a tough pill to swallow, to grieve something that you didn't want to end, but inevitably things change and you have to accept that change. And man, when you go through that, sitting with those feelings is how you water thy spirit. Man, sitting with those feelings. Because, man, did it sting? Did it hurt? Did it upset me? Yes. Because a lot of my relationships are so transient in my life that when I feel like, okay, I got a friendship that maybe I can hold on to and it changes, it's like, dang, another one. But it's more painful because of the thought and the hope that went into it being something long term. And even when it comes to things that are sexual and it's an actual relationship with a boyfriend, girlfriend, I feel like sometimes, like, yes, with a boyfriend, girlfriend, when you're getting into those type of relationships, you're already expecting, your expectation is like marriage and all that if you're dating in relationships with intention. People that just date and just be out here doing what they doing, salute to you, but I'm a person that's all about intention. So when you're in those type of relationships, you already want the intention to be something more, to be something lifelong. And I feel like in those situations, we always have something that might be in the back of your mind, like, what if this don't work out? So it's almost, I hate to say, to be expected to a certain degree, like, what if it doesn't work out? But I feel like you never think about that when it comes to friendships, because this isn't something very intimate. Like, I'm not thinking about like, oh, well, what if this friendship don't work out? I'm thinking like, yeah, we gonna be friends and we gonna be good. But it's not like that. And so I feel like it hits harder sometimes because it's like, well, dang, now you acting weird towards me. And then you always got those people that be like, oh, I love you, blah, blah, blah. But that I love you don't hit the same because you done changed on me. You already acting different towards me. You're treating me different. Like, when you give me a hug or something, you give me a hug different. You know what I'm saying? The energy is different. And when that happens in a friendship, I just feel like it hits harder because it wasn't something that was super intimate in the first place. Like, it was deep, but it wasn't. I guess you could say it is intimate to a certain degree, but not intimate in those ways. Like, I feel like friendships are super deep, depending on who your friends are. But once it becomes very surface level, it throws you for a whirl. Like, it's crazy. But sitting with those feelings of loss and grieving that is how you truly water thy spirit. It's so much. It really is. It's all about letting go of things that don't serve you. The drinking, the smoking, the sex, the bad habits, all of those things. Like, go into watering thy spirit. What do you want better for yourself? What do you want better for your kids? And one of the biggest things that comes with watering thyself and thy spirit is holding to your boundaries. Man. And that's a tough one too. Because holding to your boundaries means that you got to speak up for yourself. And a lot of times people don't speak up for themselves. And I'll attest to it. Like, I'm one of those ones that I had a boundary that was crossed 10 times over. And I'm sitting here like, nigga, what? And I don't even, I'm going to address it, but it's like, how do you address it? And sometimes it be sitting like that on you, like, just, how do I even address this? Like, am I wrong for waiting so long to address it? But sometimes you just be sitting there like, did what happened really happen? So you don't address it, but something in your spirit is still not sitting right, so you gotta address it. Watering thy spirit is about taking care of you. If you not feeling good, you not feeling God. And God lies within us, the melanated beings of this world. We are gods and goddesses, y'all. You gotta respect yourself before anybody else is going to respect you. So if you not holding firm to your boundaries, if you not standing on business for yourself, if you not telling people you don't like that, that ain't right, if you not speaking up for yourself, who is going to do that for you? There should not be an expectation that somebody else is going to uphold your boundaries, that somebody's going to respect you, especially if you can't do that for yourself. When you water yourself, when you're there for yourself, your light, your energy carries differently. It's almost like you can walk into a room and people, they'll look at you. They know not to mess with you, but they know to respect you. And that's a different vibe and energy and gift to have. And it's like, I call it a gift because respect, I would say, is seldomly given. Because people like to be cordial, but will they truly be respectful? There's a difference between the two. And when you garner respect, that will set you apart from you being, hello, I'm speaking to you because, I want to be nice. And if you want to even dive into the word of nice, I believe nice means stupid in Latin. But, people will treat you as such. You know what I'm saying? You have to garner that respect. You have to garner that attention. But it all starts within you. You have to respect yourself, uphold yourself to these boundaries, uphold your boundaries to others. And respect yourself enough to know that you can do that. Even when it comes to limiting the amount of alcohol, drugs, weed is a drug. Believe it or not, especially in these times where you're getting it from the dispensary, weed is a drug, y'all. But when you are able to limit yourself, that's part of self-respect. Self-control is self-respect. Water thyself, man. And let me just touch on this real quick, especially when it comes to weed. Weed has become so altered that it's not even weed. Mother marijuana. I hate the fact that we use a lot of these different things. I don't use it, but a lot of people use a lot of these different things like mother marijuana, wine, alcohol, mushrooms. I don't know if anybody has tried ayahuasca. I hope not. But these healing herbs, like mother marijuana, they use these things to get high. But we've lost sight of the intention of what mother marijuana's purpose is, and that's to provide insight. And now that it has become legalized and it is now distributed on every corner like some liquor, like at every gas station corner, you feel me? It's definitely being used outside of its purpose. And then it's like you don't even know what people are putting in this stuff. I've been hearing about fentanyl being sprayed on the weed. It's like people were doing this, because I just want to get high. And it's like, see, you already using it for the wrong purpose, but now you just want to get high on the government supply. And we know the government only wants to do is like keep you in the system. So they get you high, you get sick, you go pay money at the hospital, you go pay money on the drugs that you need to sustain your body now, quote unquote, because they're never going to get to the root cause, which is the weed that's, now making you sick because it's not even real weed. They got you keep going through this chronic cycle of, okay, weed. Oh, now you're sick. Now you're at the hospital buying or getting these other drugs, all these other pills. But now, I'm still feeling some type of way. Oh, they say weed is medical. Let me go back to the weed too to ease the pain. And now you in this toxic cycle doing the same thing when the root cause is the weed. And people be like, oh, it's a plant. I can't be addicted. Yes, you guys are. You're addicted. This ain't even real weed anymore. Y'all addicted to drugs. And what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to excel in your life, or do you want to be another number in the system like they already be trying to make us? Especially Black people. You can't be a slave to the system in every single way. Don't want to be a slave to the system in any way. So you already got to break out of that. But they always keep you tied down by doing something, by legalizing weed. And then y'all so gullible to think that you can't be addicted to a plant that ain't even a real plant no more, because what did they do to it? When you're using these medicines, one, get it from a reliable source, and the dispensary is not a reliable source. Dispensary is not a reliable source to get healing from. They used to be. Back maybe in like 2015, 2016, shoot, even 2017, they used to be. But before the government could get their little grubby paws on weed and make money off of it, that's when it was no longer a medicinal thing. Because what are they going to do? Get money. Make it more potent. Make it more this, more that, just to continue collecting the revenue. So if you're going to use mother marijuana, get it from a reliable source where they grow their plants. They know how to grow their plants. They know how to flush their plants. They're not using all these toxic chemicals on their plants. They're curing and drying the plants very, very well and doing it correctly. I know a good deal about some mother marijuana. I do. And I know these dispensaries ain't doing it right. And the reason I say even back in the day it was fine is because they were buying overages from people that would grow their own weed. And I was in a household where, for real, we was growing weed. It wasn't me. I'm going to say it was part me, because I was in the house and I was helping. I was helping a little bit. I would take pictures of it, help get it off, you feel me? But I saw those plants dried, cured. I saw them grow. I would talk to the plants. I would go in there and sniff the plants. I would go in there and look at the triclones, seeing how amber they were or how clear they were. I was in there doing that. I knew those plants. You don't know these plants? You don't know these plants, y'all. I'm telling you. If you're going to partake, do it the right way and do it with intention. And especially when you come to mushrooms. People be just taking mushrooms. Like, I don't know how people just, like, take mushrooms and get high. Like, that's... What? What? How do you do that? I sat with the medicine a few times, and that ain't nothing to play with, y'all. I don't know how y'all taking the medicine and going to the club and hanging out and drinking and doing all. No. Do not play with them plants. Please do not. Respect those medicines. Respect those plants. And respect and water thyself. You can use these things. You can use those things as tools to water thyself if you're using it properly, if you're using it with intention. But when you're doing it, oh yeah, I'm going to have to do this and go to the club. Go ahead and set yourself up, nigga. I'm just telling you, like, for real. Like, stop setting yourself up for failure. Like, you want to act like these things are healing, but you're not using them in healing ways. Even when it comes to mother marijuana, when you smoke it, you changing the chemical composition of marijuana and changing its properties anyways. Like, if you want to receive those benefits, you might want to drink marijuana as a tea. You know, I'm going to just, even when it comes to mushrooms, I know ain't nobody, I don't know if anybody ever smoked mushrooms, but don't do that. Eat it in its own form with nothing, or seep it as a tea. I'm not for all the additives. Oh, I'm going to put it between two buns and the jelly and the peanut butter. No. I'm going to eat this cap or these caps. I'm going to eat these mushrooms. And I'm going to have my intentions set before I do so I can learn what I need to learn. But if you're not doing that, you're not doing it right. And that is not something that you need to even be doing. Y'all, stop playing with this stuff, man. A lot of y'all don't be knowing what y'all doing. You talk about, yeah, it said it's healing, but you ain't even using it right. It's crazy. But anywho, water thyself, water thy spirit. Let go of what you need to let go of. If you over here thinking, well, shoot, do I need to? Maybe I'll start drinking a little less. That low-key mean you probably should stop. When it comes to smoking, drinking, if you feel like, if you even think about it, nigga, that's what you need to let go. Point blank, period. Do it cold turkey. I know you can. It's just, do you want it bad enough? How good do you really want to feel? Like, let go of those toxic relationships. Let go of those old friendships. Release them with love and light. There ain't got to be no hate, no hurt attached. You could be in the feeling, feel the sadness, but don't attach yourself to the feelings of being angry that something has changed, that something is no longer. Let things go with love and light and keep it pushing, y'all. But anywho, I'm going to cap this episode off right here. Thank y'all so much for joining me on this episode of I Like It Raw. And make sure y'all stay. I hate when I get tongue-tied, especially because it's the end. I'm just trying to, you feel me? But make sure y'all stay safe and strapped up, and I will see y'all in the next episode of I Like It Raw.